This is MKSilverSax back with the final version of the Galaxy class mini mega build. Okay, so here's the build. One of the first things that you're going to notice on the outside is that I've added some aesthetic windows here. You actually cannot see out from the inside. It's actually blocked off, but I put some lights behind it so it looks kind of cool. So I have them on the sides. I have a set in the front where I guess in the Enterprise D there would be 10 forward right there, but the room that I have in there is, I don't know, you could create what you want out of it. And then here are some ones that are off of the bridge, but again, those are not viewable from the inside. They're purely external aesthetics. One of the things you'll notice is the back of the ship. I tapered this off and made it a little bit more rounded rather than having a ramp basically just slide down the back there. So, and then another major change was the hangar that I had back here. I actually just turned into the impulse engine, which technically that's what it's supposed to be, is another set of engines. So this thing gets up and goes much quicker now. And then there are some other aesthetic changes that I made, including I worked out the slope of this neck piece right here. Just streamlined it a little bit more. And then also back here by the warp nacelle, I cleaned that up a little bit too. So now we're going into the inside. You'll notice that I actually added an oxygen system, and you'll see that down in the engineering area. Oh, by the way, I did add rockets. I haven't added a railgun or anything like a warhead launcher, but this seems to work just fine. Plus, the nice thing is it's you can make it self-loading, and you'll see in the bridge area the ability to take control of this, and it fires pretty well. All right, so down in engineering, you notice that cleaned up some of the walls a little bit here. With the power core, I added the jump drive, the warp drive off to the side of it here. It's just easier to access than if I had it buried in the warp nacelle, because I wasn't able to put a door on the warp nacelle. There's the oxygen system and something else, don't know what it does. And you notice I also added a catwalk for maintenance around the engines, so or the power core. Just a little bit out of the back here. The hangar is about the same. Here's the, I don't think I showed you guys this last time. This is just the normally what would be the access area to get up into the warp nacelle, and right now I would be standing underneath it, and I was hoping to make some sort of turbo lift or just like a crawl space to get up into those, but with the size of the mini mega build, the struts going over to the warp nacelles are just not thick enough that it could be possible. So one of the things that you'll notice too on the control panel is I have the lower door hangar doors and the upper hangar doors separated, and I've created the ability to open those separately at the individual computer or control panels that are in those respective hangar bays. Alright, let's move up to the saucer part. Of course, there's catwalks going around. I colored every of the catwalks and the stair sets red, so it's easier for the eye to see. It kind of draws you over to, if you're looking at going somewhere else in the ship, you'll know how to get there because the pathway is red. I added another room off the back here. Feel free to do whatever you want with that. I just figured I would partition it just a little bit more. And of course you'll notice that I've also added quite a bit of illumination in all of the rooms and corridors. Okay. The room over here is about the same as last time. Actually, it probably is the exact same, except for some lights that I added. So, yeah, it's the oxygen that's kicking me around. Yep, there it goes. I only added one oxygen generator down into engineering. There's nothing up here, so. Alright, lots more light in the saucer hangar area, and then the hallways I've segmented off, and you'll notice some doorways here and there. The first thing that you will notice from this hangar section is this big open area here, which could be anything from additional cargo storage with overlooks or meeting areas, and then there's also access to the bridge here. So it's I put a door on the other side of the bridge, and we'll go in there in a second. This right here, kind of pretend it's like a mess hall. Small area over here. Feel free to furnish it how you want, or whatever you want it to be. I didn't furnish any of the rooms because, first of all, that would take a lot more time. I feel that would be kind of unnecessary at this point, especially since subscribers would like to create their ships how they would want to. So this is back to the hangar area. So if you were to come into this hallway, this is just the hallway that loops all the way around. There are quite a few small rooms. Actually, that's a pretty good sized room off of the hallways. So this goes back into the that open area off to the left of the bridge. Again, just a bunch of small rooms. And what I wanted to do with that was just create a nice long corridor of a hallway. So all these are just small rooms, nothing fancy. They're just there to furnish however you'd like. The big difference also comes in over here. I have medical bay right here off of the bridge. The bridge is up there. This is medical bay. I have some cryo tubes and, of course, a couple medical stations. And then I have this larger room here that splits off into an upper and lower room. So this upper room here, just some extra space. The lower room is basically maintenance and the other engineering bay for the ship. So I forgot to make that red. I'll do that later. Anyway, you'll notice gyroscopes, 4 extra reactors, and that's for the purpose of if the saucer becomes detached from the rest of the ship, the saucer will still function. And if you'll notice too, the saucer also has thrusters all over it, I think pretty much in every direction. So again, if the saucer becomes detached, it can actually be a self-sustained unit. And of course there's an antenna right here, whatever you need antennas for in this game, just to kind of spot out your ship, other ships, anything that you put on your HUD. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I was going to show you the torpedo launching system. And here's pretty much the final version of the bridge. Captain chair in white, other chairs in red, but the captain chair has a red base around it, so kind of staggering colors. Taking a look at the weapon system, which can be accessed through either one of these command sections. And if I bring up the UI, you'll notice that on the second quick access bar module, you'll see a camera. Well, I have a camera right next to the rocket launcher, or the photon torpedo bay. And then if you hit 1, it will launch rockets, or torpedoes in the case of Star Trek. So there's that. And then moving over here, you can see if I zoom in a little bit, there's a camera on the lower right hand side of your screen right next to a red block that would be the torpedo launcher. So that just fires straight out. Okay. Mass at this point, 7.8 million kilograms. In idle, it only uses 0.19% of power. It's got 660 megawatts of reactor power. Ended up with 297 thrusters and 19 gyroscopes. It moves. You just have to, you know, kind of work your mouse correctly. But as far as the acceleration, it's pretty good. It gets going, especially with the thrusters that I put on the new where the middle hanger used to be, and I also made the larger thrusters on the saucer impulse engine area. So right now it's moving pretty good. Okay, it actually brakes faster than it accelerates. Going forward, that is because of all the thrusters that are on the sensor array. So you can see that it just looks like a humongous blue fire coming out of there. Anyway, that's about it. It ended up being, if I take a look at this menu, Galaxy Class Enterprise type, details, and in those details, number of blocks, 14,501, all placed by yours truly, and I will be placing this on Steam Workshop as Galaxy Class Mini Mega. I already threw a version up on there a couple days ago, but since I've done some work since then and pretty much have finished it now, I'm going to put this up and just basically call it finished, because I could take forever to tweak things here and there, and it would never be a finished product. But right now we're going to call it done, and I hope you guys not only enjoyed the video, but I hope you're able to get onto Steam Workshop, download or subscribe to the Galaxy Class Mini Mega. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and again, thank you very much for watching.